So we're streaming. Everything here looks good. All right, we're live. What up, fuckers? It's my dad. He usually hangs out in the stream and hears me say all sorts of naughty things. Say hello.
Hello.
All right, we're live. All right, what up, fuckers? It's my dad. Okay. We're good. We're good there. Make sure that's all turned off. All right, so let me just tweet this out real quick. And hold on. Also post it on Facebook because I am wanting more people to watch this shit. So how are you guys doing? You guys watch the show? It was a good episode. Really good episode. Lots of crazy shit went down. Stuff I did not expect.
Nope.
Well, we'll talk about that. There we go. I don't know why I didn't use the thumbnail I used. Stupid Facebook. All right. She still didn't even use the same thumbnail like I chose for it. It's been up. Yeah, fuck it. Anyway. Goddamn technical problems. Hey, what's going on, Jacob Lewis? What's going on, guys? Is future mundane Matt there? Sure. I'm gonna look like this when I'm older.
I'm sorry.
They've already nicknamed you Mundane Papa.
Hey, all right, we got a name. That's
So,
nicer than some of the ones I heard today from my wife, but other than that,
she gets pretty mean.
she can't.
She gets pretty mean. It's pretty funny.
Yep. She was born wicked.
Yeah, you married her though, so I really
Yeah.
don't want to. You can't complain.
Yeah, well, that
like
was
a-
the 80s, and we did funny things back then.
It's called cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Stupid
no.
spin. No, hail Satan. All right, what's going on, QWERTY? See ya. Okay, you're leaving already. All the incest is wincest. We'll talk about that. All the
Yeah.
wincest on tonight's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Yeah, Johnny Java, did you actually read what was leaked out? Because I did. I avoided it. So how much, if you saw it, was there compared to the two? Oh, this is a nice Star Wars shirt.
Huh.
You can clearly see where I get my love of Star Wars from.
Hey, we were there at the beginning, baby.
Yeah, he was.
Long time ago.
How many times you see Empire Strikes Back?
At least 100.
Yeah, like he literally in the theater too.
Yeah, it was
right?
$1.50 to go see it back in the day. 70 or 35 millimeter or 70 millimeter big screen, fluffy chairs. Had nothing else better to do, so walked down there every night and watched it.
They lived like around the corner from it, so it really
Yeah.
wasn't that far of a walk at all.
It was basically just down the train tracks.
What is Be Gone T-Hot? What is that even? I don't even know what that means anymore. This Be Gone T-Hot. The thought? Be Gone thought? I don't
No
even know.
idea.
You know. So.
Huh.
How does Mundane Papa feel he's gonna be Mundane Gramps?
Hey, looking forward to it. We have a 2-year-old grandson right now from my youngest daughter, and we're loving it, and we're expecting this to be no different whatsoever. So.
He's completely full of shit.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
You're
are.
going to be the one full of shit.
No.
No, you
No.
wait.
I've been preparing. I've cleaned up enough shit over the years.
You haven't even begun yet.
Bullshit.
Ah,
Oh,
you
that
got
hoe over there.
You got a little thing that's basically what I used to call the Play-Doh Fun Factory of life, and you're going to be all kinds of fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun with
You ever had to clean up used condoms by hand?
it. No,
I have.
Just, I won't talk about that.
See this horror? I can handle child shit. I've already been stocking up on surgical gloves because I'll be wearing those
Yeah,
every
I'm
time.
waiting to see how long that lasts.
Don't even push me on that issue.
I'm not. I'm going to sit back and just see.
So there we go.
It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
All right. So I guess some people are here. Let's give it. I said 9:30. We'll give it another couple minutes because it's still a few minutes earlier. Victor here says I have no idea what I'm in for. I have cats. It's the same general concept. One of them's pissing and shitting everything as it is. Don't even laugh at that.
I'm not. I'm just.
You are so laughing.
I don't know. 5 kids, 5 cats. I don't know. I may not know anything, so that's all right.
Well, no, okay. Like I understand. I get the look. It's not like I'm like a 21-year-old having a kid.
No.
I'm a 35-year-old who owns a home, has a business, responsible enough. So it's not like it's that big. You know, it's
no.
like,
It's. I understand that, and that part I respect very much. But when it comes, like I've told you, You are doing nothing but looking from the outside in on this whole thing, and then you're going to be slowly morphing into looking from the inside out when you are changing diapers.
But I would like you to answer me one question though. How many siblings do I have total?
How many siblings?
Siblings between you and my mom. How many do I have?
Okay, well, we're talking at least the 4 from us and 2 so 6 that I can think of.
Yeah, so I'm the eldest of 7. You're telling me I've never been around children?
I didn't say you haven't been around children.
I always get that.
You just haven't been around your child yet.
Oh, my child will be a lot like me, quiet and to the point.
It's going to be too much fun. I'm so looking forward to it.
Cytotron, we're going to be talking Game of Thrones. We're just getting to it right now. We're waiting a little bit. Make your dad say turn off that pesky ad block. If you want him to say shit, super chat. He'll say the 14 words. No, I'm kidding.
No, I won't actually. I'm good for 7, but that's about it.
Anything but the future of the white children, right?
Yeah. Okay. Considering I know last check, and well. Right.
What does your dad think of the current president? We don't have enough time for that.
We don't want to get started on that. I am a liberal from the 70s. He holds nothing to me, absolutely nothing, but just shows off the hypocrisy of the people that follow him.
Well, yeah, there's that. We could get into that a little bit later. But
I figure it ain't my show. I can say whatever I want. My filter's gone.
Carrot here wants to know, do you think traps are gay?
Do I think traps are gay?
Okay. Remember, okay, so hold on. I'll show you. I'm gonna pull up. If I still have it on here. I might not have it on here anymore. Kevin, my brother, his son, sent me an image a while ago that many of you out there will know. I can't show you on stream because I don't want my channel being taken down, but this will kind of prove the point. What I'm talking about here, if I can find it. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Let's see. It might be taken down. I think it's gone. Yeah, okay. It deleted. He sent me a Bailey J gif. Okay, screw it. I'll show you. I don't even know why I'm looking this up. So, this is Bailey J. Okay. All right. And let's see if I can find the rest of Bailey J. You probably don't want to see the rest of Bailey J. You can pretty much guess what's the rest of Bailey J.
When I saw TS in front of the name, I had a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Bailey J. And then that's the question: are traps gay? Bailey J is considered a trap.
Are they gay?
Yeah, like Bailey J does porn, and I don't even know why the hell I have this up, but yeah. So that's basically about it. It's traps. Like the answer is some yes, some no, essentially.
I don't believe all TSs are gay, so I would think that possibly not. I don't know. I'd have to I'd have to look into it a little bit more. Caught me off guard on that one. Yeah.
It's no. You should have seen the one he sent me. It was Bailey J, and then like she's naked, and then the camera pans down. It's just the Wayne going back and forth. My response was, "Why are you tweeting me Bailey J or messaging me Bailey J?" And I don't think he knew I would know what it is. And I'm like, Kevin, I'm 35 and you're 21. I know more about the internet than you.
Oh God, I can just imagine him. He's quiet in his room for the most part.
Well, the whole traps are gay thing comes from it's an internet meme, and that recently came to prominence when at a I guess you could say an internet-esque convention in London. Someone asked it, and then like the one YouTuber went fucking ape shit over it, and was all like, find who this person is and get rid of them, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, this guy, he's. Yeah, I cut him some slack because of his cancer, but at the same time, it's like, goddamn. Admiral Akbar and Bailey J, it's a trap. That's a good, I'd say that's a very good assessment right there. So it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, let's see. Devin here says, Matt, your dad's one hot study. Must have gotten all the ladies back in the day. I have no idea.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yep.
So
I had a face for radio. Get out of here.
Do you want Matt to keep trying for that grandson?
If they can keep trying all they want.
Once he gets through the first one. Jack, I don't think my dad knows who the Bryce character is, so I'll just avoid that one. All right.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff I'm totally unfamiliar with.
If you listen to the streams, it's when I do. All right, what do we got? 110. Okay, we can start. Now we got 110 people. It's been 5 minutes. Your father looks woke. I don't know, he's pretty tired actually, but do you think sex preferences are discriminatory? Oh, Jesus Christ. My dad is not familiar with the fucking Riley Dennises of the YouTubes. All right, so asking these questions are I have to stop and explain every single one of them.
If he doesn't do it now, he'll do it later. I don't know. We'll discuss it at a later time, I'm sure. Maybe not.
Not everything on the internet needs to go off the internet.
That's fine.
Right, okay. Riley Dennis is this YouTuber who's trans and like does all this shit, like basically saying that if you don't find a trans person attractive and want to date them, like you're basically a bigot. Which is the most.
But if you don't know,
if you if you know and you still don't find them attractive after, that whole notion of like
it might change my perception a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean that would probably go further in Riley's mind than anything else. But
yeah, well, yeah. Oops,
show your dad Goatsy. I'm not going to show my dad Goatsy. Maybe later, but. You don't want to see Goatsy.
No, I don't really.
No, if we're gonna show him anything, it'll be one guy, one cup. How about that?
Bigger pain in the ass growing up, Matt or Kevin? Kevin was a pretty good kid growing up. Matt was a pretty good kid growing up.
You never saw me growing up because
I saw enough of you to know that you were in good hands.
showed up for like 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah, well, that's
and
what
then
happens.
that's the most they could stomach of me. And then they sent me.
Well,
away.
then I was stuck with Kevin for 21 years until now, and over the last couple, whatever, because his mouth became more prominent.
I'll have to try to get him on the stream sometime. Show him Lemon Party. I'm not going to show him Lemon Party. I'm not going to show him Lemon Party. I'm watching gay porn.
Yeah, y'all sick.
All right, so
hell?
So hunt Slender Girl with your dad. What was this? What was that at the?
We'll keep it at that. I decided that I might try something a little bit more cosmic at the Eclipse down in Salem, and then Matt proceeded to explain to me about a pregnant girlfriend and a long drive home, and which then shot the mood.
Thank you.
And everything worked fine.
I'm okay. I'm okay to be the responsible.
That's
one.
fine. You could have been the responsible.
I slept the whole way anyway, so it was
you
fine.
were out. You wouldn't have known if I had or hadn't.
I passed out. I was out. On the drive back, I was out. On the drive there, I was on caffeine, but it was a long day. So all right.
Now, if you woke up and I'd been playing Pink Floyd with a little bit of whatever, then it'd be a different story. But
well, given how much traffic we had, you probably could have driven home stoned. It would have been fine.
It would have been perfectly fine, except we were having too much of a show that people having to pull over to take a pee.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, some guy. There was these kids actually. He was talking to because they saw that he's got a Game of Thrones. What was it?
Little bumper stickers.
Yeah, he's got. It's like keep calm and demand trial by combat.
Yeah, that's
right?
the one. Yeah.
And these like 17-year-old kids or whatever were like,
"Hey, dude!"
Yeah. And then like one of them like got out. They did a Chinese fire drill, so one of them could jump out of the car because we were stuck in like nuts to butts traffic, and he ran over to go take a piss, but they're on the fast lane, so he was like on the shoulder in the fast lane, and there's cars coming the other direction, and he was behind a pylon, so we couldn't see his wang, but everyone else going the other direction could totally see full scrot. And then traffic picked up, and his friends basically left him there.
We're going northbound. I could look at the drivers heading southbound, and you can see their eyeballs. It was really quite funny.
It was pretty goddamn hysterical.
And the dude was so proud of himself. It was so great.
It was pretty fucking good. All right, so let's get into Game of Thrones here because people are bitching in the chat. All right. Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. I've been doing that all fucking day. I've been humming the theme song all day. So what do you think of the episode?
I thought it was phenomenal. It pisses me. Well, I know what the end result is that I was going to be mad because I'm going to have to wait now forever and a day until it comes back. And I was hoping that it was going to be as good as it was, and it held up. I mean, I enjoyed it very much. Couple of twists.
I like the episode. Because we were talking a couple weeks ago and it started setting up. All right, so there's like what 8 different storylines in that episode or some such shit. Mm-hmm. But it was the Sansa Arya storyline that they were setting up a couple weeks ago, where they were like, oh yeah, they're gonna start pitting them against each other, and I you wanted it to be over really quick.
I wanted it to be done,
but it felt also kind of tacked on. But then the ending of that, again, spoilers, if you don't even fucking know that by now, then why you're here? But no, this like it ended up being Baelish. You know, Littlefinger was plotting.
You were hoping that, and then when it happened, it didn't. It surprised me, but yet didn't surprise me. It got me a little excited, thinking what the end result was going to be. Which luckily Arya took care of it.
Yeah, no, Arya got that kill too, and
went off the list.
But yeah, he wasn't on her list though.
Yeah, it was.
He was on her list.
I'm positive. I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
Okay, for those of you who are more up to date on Game of Thrones than we are, was Littlefinger on Arya's list? Because that's something to consider.
Because I thought I read it on the internet, and that's got to be true. So
well, Vano here says Littlefinger's a wasted character. Littlefinger finally got. He did get got, but the thing is also it was time for his character to go. And out of all the characters that they had still going on, he was clearly the only one that was expendable because he's been expendable now for probably clearly at the end of season 6, coming in at the Battle of the Bastards with the Army of the Vale and saving Sansa and everything else like that. Clearly,
that was his last remaining worth.
Yeah.
Is that if he could bring the Knights of the Vale in to help the Battle of the Bastards there, win it for Jon Snow, and they came in at the right time and everything was fine. But he felt he had something that was owed to him as a result of it, I always felt.
Well, I always feel like he felt he was owed for not being with Catelyn. Because, we know that he always loved her character, or he always loved her, and then everything else. And then that's clearly why he betrayed Eddard, or Ned, back in the first season and everything else. But it was one of those things, too, where it was like, his importance started to wane the last couple of seasons. Like the last thing he did that was truly, I think, despicable was killing Liara, whatever her name is, or Lyanna.
Well, there's Lyanna Stark, who was
Catelyn's sister.
Yeah,
shoving her
when he
veil
through the moon door.
Yeah. So there's that, but otherwise he just this whole season has been lurking in the shadows, and Sansa's been on that the entire time. Sansa told Brienne in an earlier episode this season, well, I don't know what game he's trying to play, but she's been letting on the whole time that she's aware of what he's doing, but then she still kind of goes along with it every time they're in a scene together, which is why it got really frustrating. Because is she playing the game, but she's also kind of just not playing it right now? Who knows? And it worked out, but
well, that was the twist in there when they threw it back on Littlefinger, and you think they were going at Arya, and that worked.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think she was going to kill Arya. I thought there was going to be
oh no, they wouldn't have done that.
Arya came in there. Clearly they'd been working together, and then also Bran. But then the thing is too, he's like, I'm the three-eyed raven, and he keeps telling everybody that. But at the same time, you're like, has he really? Did he prove it to Sansa?
I don't think he's proved anything to anybody.
Well, Sam. He proved it to Sam, essentially.
Well, by basically being able, right. He was kind of. Yeah, you're right. I just don't believe that. I don't know. I was looking at what it was written there about Bran being the Night King. That whole theory.
I have not heard that. I haven't heard that theory at all.
I haven't looked too much into it yet, but that's going to be, I think, the final. At the end of this whole thing, that'll be the final boss, so to speak.
Well, the Night King, yeah. Before finally coming on Cersei.
Yeah, I think there's something. It'll be Cersei. She'll get hers, and then the final thing will be destroying the Night King, which will destroy all the. And maybe Bran will have to sacrifice himself in order to be able to do that. I don't know. I'm waiting to see something's going to kill the Night King and destroy all the people that he's turned.
Well, okay, because we know that the Night King wanted the Three-Eyed Raven. That's why they went after him. And so there's something there, but I don't know where this theory of Bran being the Night King came from.
I'm not really sure either, but
that's one of the
Bran's acting weird.
Bran's been weird this whole damn season because season 6 started with them opening the door to the wall, or season 7, and then him going in and then telling his friend, I don't need you anymore.
You did your part.
Your brother died for me, but fuck off. And then she'll clearly come back at some point, I think.
Right.
But we haven't seen her since then. And then you've got the whole situation with him sitting there like, I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. And then like, oh, what the fuck is that thing? But then at least with Sam, when they had that scene at the end with Sam, Sam's like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, I can see everything. And then he makes mention of the Rhaegar
Right.
situation, and then he's like, oh wait, no, this thing.
Well, he
this-
had to tell the story in order to be able to set up the next part of the.
yeah, which we'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that one.
Yeah,
But Littlefinger, I'm glad he's gone. I do wish though he would have gotten it more, like he would have been caught in a bigger like honeypot trap. You know what I mean? Like I wish he would have been like really kind of setting the stage. You know, because in the first couple of seasons, like Varys and Littlefinger always felt like they were going toe to toe with each other, or at least parallel to each other, going toe to toe.
Well, it's almost like which one of the two were the biggest scoundrel.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, Littlefinger was, but
Well, Varys, we've learned over the years, he just wants to serve someone good.
Right.
You know, so that's why he uses his powers to keep that going.
well,
But
he's jumped from house to house to house
Yeah.
to basically follow the whomever the.
yeah, and that whole scene, that whole bit this season with him talking to Daenerys and saying, I choose to serve you because I think you're good, versus Cersei, who's just a bitch.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that, but with Littlefinger though, I just always felt like they were building him up, and I guess maybe it was just to the whole veil thing. Otherwise, I don't know. I kind of got like I'm a little bit disappointed that the only major character death in this finale was him, and it was just like, and then let him bleed out, and you're just like, okay, like all right, there could have been more to that, but then again, they were running that storyline dry.
Oh yeah, I wanted that done. I just wanted it over with because I don't want to see the two Stark sisters, basically going at each other, and for whatever reason. But I still believe Arya is going to have a huge part in this by the time it's all said and done.
Well, because who's still left on Arya's list? I mean, it's the Hound is still there.
The Hound is
Cersei.
Cersei, the dude, I can't think of his name. They got so many weird names. Dude with the flaming sword that was in last week's episode.
The Brotherhood.
Yeah, he's part of that. The Hound is on our list.
Yeah. Is that Sir Gawain or whatever his name is? Sir
I
Gawain?
can't.
No. That was somebody else.
No,
That was somebody else.
But there's still a few left on there, and she's, I don't know. The writing in that show is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, Mr. Let Me Watch a Video. We will talk about your super chat, what you talked about there, in a little bit, because that's at the end. We want to wait until the end. But thank you very much for that. If you guys also want to post any super chat, not shilling or anything, we'll get those questions. But yeah, Arya has had a minimal role all season though. I mean, clearly they're going to be leading it in because it was
Barak. Thank you.
It was Barak.
Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
Okay.
You guys I knew somebody would pop that in there.
Yeah. Oh, or Barrack or whatever his name
Barrack.
is. Yeah. And they had some good roles. I thought they had good bits this year. The Hound became one of my.
Hound is one of my favorites.
Well, I really loved that moment with him earlier the season when they went back to the hut of the people that in the season premiere.
Right.
When they went back to the hut of the people that he stabbed the guy, and then the guy and the daughter died, and he actually had that twinge of remorse, which is something he's never done,
never experienced.
But then the showdown today or in this episode with the Hound, like I love that. Well, the Hound I think had like two of the best moments in the entire episode. So him talking with Brienne, I thought was great because there was clearly chemistry there between them,
right.
Which I thought was interesting because that's just going to piss off Tormund later on. That's going to be hysterical to watch what happens with that.
Yeah,
because Tormund's one of my favorites too. But that conversation between them was fantastic, and then I just love that Arya's safe, by the way. Oh, well, who's looking after her at Winterfell? I think it's whoever gets in her way we have to worry about.
Yeah.
It won't be me. It won't, and then of course him going up to his brother and like, I'm coming for you. And you've always known, like, that was cool because that was like, he's always hated his brother and everything else.
Right.
So,
well, he wasn't talking, I don't think he was talking necessarily about himself.
no, he was.
He said, what's coming.
You know who's coming. He says,
Yeah.
you know who's coming. And
Right.
and he's referring to him.
I mean, you're hoping that's him.
Well, no, it's him. You know who's coming. You know who it's always been. That because who put his face in the fire.
Right, no, I
So
understand.
that's why he wants to kill his brother. That's
well,
been they've
Clegane
been.
Bowl will happen.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to be a great thing.
And it'll have to end better
But I don't
than
think
the
he's
last time.
with
Oberyn.
Oberyn Martell.
Yeah.
Man, that was a cool death scene for him. I was so pissed off when he died. He was a good actor.
Oh, I loved his character.
Well, did you hear he actually tweeted out after the final Sand Snake died? That whole scene with Nyara, whatever her name
Yeah.
is. He started bitching at the producers, like, you killed my family. You killed, and I was actually really hoping we would get another shot of her in the jail. They might get that in the next season,
Right.
Of her in the jail with like the daughter,
Yeah.
shriveled up there and everything else.
I think they left that one to go because they had it was time for Dorne to go too. I didn't
Yeah.
like that whole storyline either.
Well, they kind of brought up a little bit with the whole Marcella thing tonight
Yeah.
with Cersei, but yeah, but back to the Hound though. I think he had the best stuff, and then I liked it when he was fighting, like cutting off the White Walker, or like the undead
Right.
that they had brought back. That was a cool scene too, just because I love that it like when it came out, it went right at Cersei, and she was like legit scared. And that was actually really good in terms of the filmmaking because her reaction was also, I think, our reaction.
Right.
It was like, oh shit, like there was like I had that moment of dread watching it. I'm like, I just wanted to yell at the Hound, just cut the fucking chain,
Yeah.
cut the fucking chain,
Yeah.
end this shit, just end it, man. Just end it right now. Like no one would who's gonna fight back on that one? She got the Dothraki, the Unsullied, and the two dragons. Like
Right.
no one's gonna fuck with Daenerys on this thing.
No, not right now. They're not.
But I thought the Hound was good. Brienne didn't have much to do. She just had that one little scene with Jaime.
She's still trying to be Jaime's moral compass or something to
She's-
try to keep him,
Yeah.
at least in line to where he knows that he knows what is best. And, she tried to tell him with that before he went off to cower under Cersei, probably.
Well, I mean the whole thing when she grabs him and she's like, "Fuck loyalty," like this is bigger than that now.
Right.
And I think that weighed on Jaime quite a bit for what
you
he
could
did
tell.
later on. But then again, he's always respected Brienne. He's always
Right.
enjoyed her company. Like that whole scene with Paul-Drick when they were taking the castle back a few seasons ago, and he let them go
Right.
at the end. Like he's always had that respect for her.
When they were in the boat taking
Yeah,
off and going
yeah.
down, and Jaime just watched them go.
Yeah, like that was the whole scene I liked with him on that one because of that. But yeah, her entire thing there I think was just to kind of set him on that compass, so that she might have been that last push away from that path line of Cersei's control, because now we know
Right.
where that's at. So, I mean, so Jaime at this point, I like that he's been questioning a lot this season.
I think he sees his sister for what she really is. I'm still not 100% sure she's pregnant. I think she's going to play that all the way through. At least right now.
I think she's pregnant. I think she thinks she's pregnant.
And she's going to try to do that and take advantage of it as best she can.
Well,
I mean, she's already convinced Tyrion.
Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, okay, I totally forgot about that. So, it's entirely possible that she's not. She's not.
She probably maybe
Well,
could
'cause
not be. I don't
All
know.
she had to do is just sit there and just go like, oh, my belly, and it's like he's like, oh, you're pregnant, and then she was playing him that whole scene anyway. She did a good job.
No, she,
So sorry, Phil V. I know you're watching the Saints. She's going to miscarry. I don't think I based on what happened, I kind of agree. I don't think she's actually pregnant.
I don't believe so.
Because the first time they hinted at it was 2 episodes ago, when she was talking to Qyburn.
Yeah, Kyrie Alfred or something before
and then
Jaime
she
walked in.
kind of did this, and I was like, oh snap, she's fucking pregnant.
Yeah.
And then like she hinted at, well, she told Jaime, and then she hinted at with Tyrion, and then Tyrion, she played him, and he fell right into that, and then using the love he had for his nieces and nephews that are no longer around,
Right.
with the exception of Joffrey. Which I love that they didn't even mention that at all. Like
No.
there wasn't like, oh, I love Tommen and Marcella, they were great.
Yeah, but Joffrey was.
He was a cunt.
Yeah, conked.
And then yeah, everything else. So that scene was pretty cool. Actually, the scene I liked though was when they were at the dragon pit,
Right.
and just like everyone there, because there's gonna have to be one scene where the entire cast is gonna be in one room together. I don't know
how they can do that again, other than if things get really dire and they have to get back together again. I just can't. I don't foresee it happening because right now they're like Cersei already took that moment and tried to work to her benefit.
Yeah.
And she's going to try to pull whatever stunt she needs to pull in order to be able to gain control or at least an advantage over what's happening. Because she feels like all they're out to do once everything's done with fighting the White Walkers is coming back and taking over and killing her. That's what I believe. So.
Well, at this point in time, that's literally all there can be to do in
Yeah.
that show. I mean, once they take out the Night King and end that whole threat, then they're going to be like, yeah, it's just Cersei, really, because, well, no, there's still the one thing they haven't talked about yet, and I think it's going to play into it. Sam is the last of the Tarlys.
Right.
He now is lord of that manor.
Right.
He's lord of that house. he doesn't know his brother, Dickon.
Yeah.
Which was, they kept hammering that joke home, which I thought was kind of stupid. You know, or when they kept calling him too Recon, like
Well, there was Recon,
and then which is the Stark boy that
right.
died.
That was the one that got killed.
And
by
I think they kept making that as a reference, like no, that one did exist. We killed them off
right,
really.
we had a Rickon and a Dickon.
Yeah, so and kept saying it over and over again.
Dickon.
But now it's Sam. Sam is the guy in charge there. But and his arc this season's been very, you know, like everything's been very fast paced. So it's like he magically quickly learned how to remove grayscale on Jorah.
Right, in like one episode.
And like one night. And then Jorah's like, oh, I'm just put on my shirt, I'll heal. And then he heads back down to, you know, to wherever the hell it was, Stannis'.
So just by basically taking the scabs off, that just fixes everything? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that's all going to work out.
I think they wanted to, well, they needed to bring back Jorah, because Jorah's great.
Got to have that triangle.
And they just, well, that triangle's pretty much dead. No, that triangle now might be somebody else. Might be Tyrion.
I don't know.
Well, because that whole thing with Tyrion, we'll get to that. We'll get to that because I don't want to get too ahead of that. Dick on, dick off, dick on. Yeah, that's pretty much about it, Jen.
The digger.
So more like Dick on fire. That's a good one. That's a good one, Nate. That's a good one. It's God. There's so many fucking characters. Okay, so Jaime. We're talking about Jaime. So Jaime at this point, you know, he's been questioning things all season, and for a while, I would say.
No, he has been for a while.
But he's also been easily controlled by Cersei. She so plays that card, especially at the beginning of the season when they're talking, and he's like, "Don't you want to talk about Tommen's death?" Right. You know, or deal with that, and she's like shut down emotionally, and you know, but no one ever asked Jaime how he feels about his son's dying.
They seem to be able to on that whole thing with her. And the prophecies that were told of her that her, you know, daughter or their children would be killed, and you know, Tommen being the last one, and so, you know, she's kind of sucked up into that right now. I don't think, and Jaime saw it's not even worth. I mean, she doesn't give a rat's ass how she feels or how Jaime feels about it. So
no, she doesn't give a shit about that at all. She's playing him clearly, and I think now he's more aware of that than he was.
I would think so.
Especially given his actions, because he basically says, like, we need to go fight, because Cersei tells Tyrion, she plays Tyrion, that they're going to send their troops up north to fight the Great War against the undead, and then she's like, ha, fooled you.
Yeah.
And then Jaime's like, no, you gave your word, like, we have to do this. This is, you know, it's like they said after the show, it's more of an existential threat of life versus death.
Right, and then she said herself that she'd lie, you know, to be able to try to save her house, her family, whatever.
Yeah, which then she's lying about the kid.
Yeah, and so she could very easily be lying about that.
Yeah, maybe. But I like that, you know, because after the whole thing with like Tyrion and Cersei talking, and then like, you know, the mountain pulling out like the blade, like, oh, strike him down or whatever. So I like that he was goading her the whole time too.
Right.
He's like, I never cared for you, never cared for your kids. Fuck, I'm glad they're dead.
Yeah.
You know, I want to kill you more times I can count, and then everything else. But it's true, like these two, they are pretty well matched for each other.
Oh,
I think.
Definitely.
Except he went in there with this whole like, I want to protect my family, and she just doesn't care. Because she, well, she's played, I think out of everyone, she's played the Game of Thrones the best.
Oh, I would think so.
I mean, she's currently the queen, so she's kind of doing it well.
She took advantage of what was given to her. I mean, as soon as Tommen was, you know, killed himself, and she jumped right in there.
Real quick, though. Hold on. Okay, Spike Giraffe, this is a Game of Thrones Season 7 finale discussion. You can't come in here and be like, oh, we're not going to talk about that. Doesn't work that way. Anyway. Okay, so Aaron here says, I also think the Lannister army is going to go with Jaime. That depends. Because if you notice at the end, Jaime covers up his gold hand and then takes off north. So there's the Lannister. He's not in Lannister. He's not.
No, he's not.
He's not. You know, he doesn't have the cloak on. He doesn't have his High Commander, whatever the fuck it is. Like, he doesn't have any of that on. He's going incognito to the north. So
and the only thing that would give him away would be his hand.
Yeah, his gold hand. So he's covering that up so no one knows that it's Jaime Lannister.
Right.
So that clearly shows that he does not have support of the Lannister army, and probably at this point they're going to label him as a deserter or something.
So if Littlefinger played the game best, he's dead.
I don't agree with you that he played the game best. I think he played the game probably the most efficiently, but he he backed himself into a corner, and even then, but his game was never the throne.
No.
Well, I mean, maybe not now, but he also never, because his game was always Catelyn. It was always Catelyn.
Yeah.
Right, and then became Sansa. So his entire game was to win the heart of Catelyn Stark or Sansa Stark. So he played it well in that regard, but he overplayed his hand. And again, as we already mentioned, Sansa had been very much kind of hinting that she was fully aware of what he was up to, but then also every time they were together playing into it, which got really confusing. So you don't know if she was setting the trap or not. Again, they could have done some better structure with that storyline in order to make that moment in time far more impactful.
Well, I'd like to know that moment where you knew, short of when they called him out, when you knew that those two had something going on against him. They were setting him up, so to speak. So, but no, that's, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not like, it wasn't like, like the two scenes where it's like Cersei might have killed Tyrion. I'm like, you killed Tyrion, people are going to stop watching. You killed Jaime, people are going to stop watching.
You don't kill,
No, they're not dead yet. But
Tyrion won't ever die.
Tyrion might. He might end up, the Lannister line might all die.
But I still believe somewhere along the line, he's going to be a Targaryen.
So have you guys heard the Targaryen theory for fucking Tyrion? Which is an interesting theory and one that I do feel holds some weight, given what we know now. But at the same time, because there's a whole thing of like, who has touched the dragons? Daenerys, Jon Snow, and Tyrion. And we know that Jon Snow's a Targaryen. We know this. So Daenerys don't know it yet, but she will, and that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like that scene from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
No,
that's the worst case of hemorrhoids I've ever seen. Everyone putting gum in their mouth. That's gonna be what happens out of that. So you don't like the Tyrion theory? The Tyrion Targaryen. I mean, like, it would make sense. Who else has touched them? Who else has touched?
There's something there. There is something.
Yeah, there's something. We'll
find out what it is.
But to finish the theory, though, basically it's Tyrion's mom was lusted after by the Mad King, right? And Tywin Lannister knew this, so he shipped her off to Casterly Rock in order to keep her away from the Mad King. Well, I guess like a year before Tyrion was born, or right around a year, there was this big tournament that took place, and then she showed up there, and then so the theory is that the Mad King grabbed her, had his way with her. Tywin knew about this, being the king's hand, and then sent her back, and then hated her and hated Tyrion because he was a rape baby.
Right, and then coming out as a dwarf didn't help things much.
Yeah. So there's that. But then again, at the same time, Tyrion is as smart as his father. So there's and the Mad King was clearly insane. Right. So there's stuff there to argue. Do you think that the Night King was once a Targaryen? I don't know. There's been we don't know anything about where they came from, though. Just that it's an old myth and an old legend. That's the whole entire point. It's like Cersei said, the Dothraki, the dragons, the White Walkers. These are all stories of our childhood that we all know now to be true. So whatever else is happening as a result of these guys is definitely interesting. So yeah,
Joanna and Era sitting in a tree.
Oh yeah. So it's one of those things. Okay, who haven't we talked about yet? There's we do Cersei, because we've kind of talked a bit about her. There's a bit there with the Iron Bank that I thought was interesting, because they had been kind of leading to that. So now she's got, was it the Gold Army? Is that what she's hired?
They figure the money will. I mean, look what they said about Highgarden.
Yeah,
they had all the money at that time.
Yeah,
and they basically had the strongest army.
And they're
not now.
Well, and that's the whole point, though, too. But see, they're setting up that whole situation with the Gold Army, which I think is going to probably be turned around against Cersei.
I would think so.
Well, because who's on his way right now to Euron?
Right.
So Theon, I feel has gotten he's a shit character for a number of reasons, like a total douchebag. Everything that happened in Winterfell, I get it, but there was a great little moment with him and Jon today in the episode, kind of not forgiving everything, but forgiving a fair amount, because if you guys don't remember, Theon was kind of like Loki from Thor. He was a spoil of war.
Right.
And so that was the whole thing. Is he always was between two houses, Starks and the Greyjoys, and that was the whole notion why he went and
The Hound isn't on Ares' list anymore.
Isn't
I just remember her calling it out one time. That was a while back.
No, she called that out many times. Well, not maybe, I think like more than once, because she was saying I always have my list before I go to bed, and then it was the Hound.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
thought the Hound was part of that.
And
but
as far as I know, like she never took him off the list. I don't think she's gonna kill him now. To be honest with you, I think she's got an affinity for him. I think she has affection there. You know, because she was not happy with the whole situation with Brienne,
right,
and everything else, and so it's like. I think she, you know, and then clearly the Hound likes her.
Right.
So, you know, there's that whole thing there too, where you have a bit of like the father-daughter scenario. Oh, maybe it is all about the cocks. That was a pretty funny conversation. But the whole thing with Theon though is Theon, you know, the whole situation with Euron Greyjoy and then Yara, you know, like him getting, this is kind of how Theon gets his groove back, in my opinion. Or gets his balls back, so to speak. Gets his balls back. Because the thing with Theon is, like, when he was captured by Ramsay Bolton and castrated and all that jazz and then turned into Reek, like, there was a lot of psychological damage that happened there. A lot of trauma.
Oh, yeah.
And that was what clearly, you know, kicked in when Euron captured Yara and everything else like this. And he just freaked out. Like, there's PTSD there. And people always give, you know, Theon shit, but it's kind of like there was seriously a clinical problem there with him. And I felt like, I don't know, I felt sympathy for Theon's character in that moment in time. And he's been struggling with this duality of like good and bad, or,
right.
you know, or well, really Stark and Greyjoy, because the Iron Islands, what's their model? They keep what they kill or whatever. No, that's the necromongers from fucking Riddick. Same concept, essentially. Same concept, but it's just different.
Wrong movie.
Yeah, old times don't know about PTSD. They didn't even know about PTSD until like 50 years ago. You know, there's a whole bunch of BBC, you know, TV shows about World War I where they talk about PTSD before they knew what the fuck to call it. So it's not something
it was called
that's new.
shell shock back then.
Well, that was Vietnam, wasn't it? It was Vietnam.
That was a long name before then.
Well, no, it was like World War II was shell shock, I think, and then and then it wasn't until Vietnam they worked on PTSD, is what they clinically call it. But yeah, there's been a lot of.
Well, no, I mean they just had a more kind of a blunt name for it than they had to, you know, got to put a condition.
Okay, it says your Rage here says she took the Hound off her list, plus the Hound is dead, only Sandor Clegane is left. Yeah, but he still goes by the Hound, so, you know, they call him Clegane more than anything else, really.
Yeah.
But I see your point.
No, I understand.
Oh, Shell Shock was World War One? Okay. All right, well then, cool. Or Battle Fatigue. Oh, it's right. World War II, they called it Battle Fatigue. All right, I remember that Carlin has a whole bit about that.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's right. Carlin's a bit about that. Yeah, where the fuck is Carlin? Anyway, off topic. But Theon's character, I like that bit at the end there where he's like, I need to go save my sister, because she is the only one that came for him when when Ramsay Bolton had him.
Yeah, but how's she gonna? Well, he better do something good because she's most likely pretty pissed at him.
Yeah, but if he shows up, she'll probably, you know, she knows that he's fucked up. She knows
Right.
how fucked up he was as Reek. Like, she saw him in that moment when she was like, come on, and he's all like too afraid to move because he'd been just beaten down to like this base shithole human, you know?
Right.
And so she knows what he's been through, and she trusts him, but he made a mistake there, so now he wants to go get her back, which I think that's going to be a cool arc for the next, because you know where that's going to tie into the next season, right? Like, you know, they're going to take a small contingent of Iron Islanders, right? And they're going to head off towards Euron ship, and they're going to sneak on, and they're going to take him out. And then my theory, just because I'm calling it now, they're going to lead the Golden Army, right? Because how much you want to bet the Dothraki or the Unsullied are going to get fucking wasted on, right? They're just going to get wasted on by the White Walkers or Cersei or whatever.
Right.
They're going to get screwed. We're going to see a lot of Unsullied and Dothraki die. That's going to happen. But then they're going to need some help at the end, and since the army's already been paid for, who's to say who's controlling? If Euron is the one leading the charge, and then now here's Theon, and Theon's like, oh no, we're fighting for these guys now.
Right.
They're not going to know any different. They're sellswords. They don't care. They have no loyalty.
So Euron was basically bullshitting too when he took off today.
Yeah. That was a good scene, because Euron sees a White Walker, sees the undead, and is just like, piece this, I'm out.
Yeah, we're going to our island, and we're just not going to come out since they can't swim.
But that was weird that Cersei had already set that up to play, because he had like a legit fear about it looked like. But that was good setup for bringing in the people from there. But there's still the Tyrell army in Dorne, so they could still go and get those people if they are able to capture enough ships.
Yeah, I'm still wondering where that's going to play in
because
it all.
Unless they just move away from that, I have no idea.
I don't know either.
So there's definitely. Let's say, hold on. Dario was a Golden Company. Wait, Dario, was that the one guy that like?
No, Dario was the one that proclaimed his love to Danny. Wasn't
Yeah, whatever happened to
and
that
she
guy?
told him to stay or whatever because she was going. He had to stay back.
Okay, he was golden. So that could tie into it too. If
I
you
don't
have
know.
if you have those people there, they could tie into that scenario. I just there's going to be a moment where the Golden Army is going to very much play in favor.
Yeah,
of...
Danny's lover at Slaver's Bay. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, okay.
you guys are good.
Yes, no, you guys know what's going on. All right, we're forgetting names. It's been 6 years. The show's
Yeah,
been on the
I-
air. Okay, he was saved behind a Marine. Okay. So okay, it says Golden Army is also once controlled by Blackfire, a relative of the Targaryens. I think they might still, if they want the Blackfire lead. Well, okay, so that's entirely possible. He was Second Sons. Second Sons is not Golden Company. Okay, so sorry, but I guess there's people correcting in the chat. Again, I haven't read the books, so
Neither have
I don't know. I'm going off the show. But let's see. Hold on. He had the Veil's Lord in his back pocket. There was little proof of Sansa claimed. I call bullshit. Realistically, the Veil would have crushed the North after Peter's death. Okay, I don't even know that. I think you're going back on the whole Littlefinger thing, which is from a ways back. So
Right.
we're kind of off on that one. Okay, so what else is there? There's Euron's got Yara. I liked Theon getting his balls back and then taking that dude out and then going to save his sister. That's going to play a big part in the next season.
Right.
Probably like a 1 episode thing, I would say, because they only have 6
Hey,
episodes.
we only have 6 episodes left, and they got to tie this shit together.
I know.
And that's gonna be extraordinarily good storytelling to do what they've got to do yet.
Victor, I don't think the Iron Bank will betray Cersei. They've already backed her. Mycroft Holmes. I don't know the actor's name, but he plays Mycroft in Sherlock Holmes. He already told her they have the backing of the Iron Bank. There's been nothing to indicate otherwise. They've got Highgarden. They've got the gold. They've paid off their debt that Tywin had raised with them. So they're clearly in the process of wanting to back Cersei, thinking she's going to win. So I don't think that's going to have anything to do with it. Oh, fuck. Okay, so you've got... who else is there? We talked to Arya a little bit. She's going to play a bigger part in the next season.
Right.
Brienne played a bigger part in the next season.
She needs to. She was
okay.
almost non-existent.
Where the fuck was Gendry?
That surprised me. I thought he would have been at the Wall.
Yeah.
Then
He was at
ran
Eastwatch. He went to Eastwatch.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then when he went back there, that's the last we saw of him.
Yeah.
And they were taking him back in.
Yeah. So, and then then the question is, though, did he then travel south to... Well, no, he hasn't discovered working on Dragonglass yet. And who the fuck has his hammer? Wasn't the Hound has his hammer?
The Hound
right?
had it.
Okay. So somehow there's that whole thing that they,
The Hound told him it's too heavy to carry if you're gonna take off.
So Gendry is rowing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Davos will find him.
That's pretty funny. Davos will find him again, yeah. Hey, where have you been? It's too much work for me, man. So he'll be back at some point because that's going to be a big thing. But I would have liked to have seen him again because I liked him in the last episode. The Suicide Squad episode
I thought that was
of
good.
Game
That
of
was a great
Thrones.
episode.
Jorah is around, but he didn't really have much to do this episode.
No, he kind of gave a heartfelt look,
To Dany.
to
But
Dany.
Dany knows that he loves her because they've already established that.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that is, now.
But she has a thing for her nephew.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I screwed my nephew. Cersei screwed her twin brother.
It's going to be really funny if they never tell them that, though. Right? I would laugh they're going to clearly tell them. They've already set the seeds at this point.
Oh, definitely.
But if all of a sudden, like, a Night King comes in and wipes out Winterfell and takes out Sam and Bran, that's just going to be fucking funny. There's... okay, so we've gone through everybody. Bronn. Bronn's not dead yet.
Nah.
That's a good thing. Bronn clearly is fighting for...
If something was going to happen to Bronn, I thought it was going to happen today.
Yeah. Well, they hinted
That
at it like
would've
2
happened.
episodes ago.
Well, I know.
When
when
Tyrion, yeah.
Because when Cersei knew that he had set up the meeting between Jaime and Tyrion, that could have been treasonous in its own way. So, Gendry marry Sansa?
No, Gendry's gonna marry Arya. That's the whole thing. She'll be like a warrior and he'll follow her around a bit or whatever. But I will say though, I did love the little reunion between Bronn and Baldrick and Tyrion.
Right.
That was great. and they're all coming in from different places.
It
Like,
was brief, and yet you know anybody that knew their connection from
Yeah.
back, got a kick out of it.
well, I like when Braun's shit talking Tyrion, and then Tyrion goes, "I missed you." And he goes, "I missed you too."
Yep.
Because they're BFF and shit, and I love that Braun's still hanging around because he's clearly just in it for the money.
Oh, definitely.
But Braun is well when he saved Jaime a couple episodes ago after the loot train battle, so he clearly cares to some extent.
But could that been only because he had dropped his bag of gold before?
It's possible.
He
it's
never
possible.
did pick it up.
He did drop the bag of gold. He might have been
stared at it for a second before he had to run off and go.
I know.
Try to shoot the.
Well,
try to
because
shoot the
there was
dragon.
that line, "No one's going to kill you but me until I get my money."
Right.
And so there's that, which I thought was great. But Braun's the Braun Tyrion stuff's my favorite stuff on the show because they have a great dynamic together, and I want to see more of that. So what I'm hoping is, well, where's Braun been after all this? And why wasn't Braun with Jaime at the end?
Right.
That's my question. But the thing is, though, would Braun have gone without the Lannisters there? Because now he's a Lord Braun of Blackwater.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what they're calling him now. And so it's just like, oh, he's a lord, and so they're very much like trying to, he's in it for the money and not even so much the prominence of it all. But he's very much wanting, I think, to be like, he'll come back in. He'll come back in at the end, and because he can lose it all and then he'll get it all back again. Like that's how Braun operates.
Well,
He
that's
doesn't
how
give
he
a
is.
shit.
I mean, I don't want to see his character killed off. I think he's got some worth left to go.
Braun gets Dorne now. Well, Braun's going to go to Dorne and take over Dorne. That would be, I think, Wine, Women, and Song would be his entire thing.
Oh yeah.
But no, Braun has been a very small character this season. I'm hoping we get more from him next. I like Paul-Drick. I like he's working with Brienne. They're still together. Braun's in it for the money in a castle. I know he's in it for the money in a castle, but there's also he also has some loyalty to Tyrion, and he has some loyalty to Jaime. He genuinely likes both of them, I think.
Yeah.
And so if he didn't, he wouldn't have stuck around, even for money or a castle. He likes to fight. He likes to do all that other shit. So I like that. Let's see. There wasn't really much with Davos this episode.
Yeah, Lady Mormont needs to come back.
Yes, I agree. We had
We
one.
needed her. We needed
how
her
many? How she was in one scene. She was in the season premiere. That was it.
She had that one little speech she gave, little teeny one.
Yeah, that was it.
That was about it.
I want her to meet Jorah if possible.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be pretty interesting because they're not far apart from each other. Well, they won't be far apart from each other when they all go to fight in the next season, and so she'll be all like. I mean, clearly he doesn't care about status anymore. He doesn't give a shit about that. As we learned with what was the name of the sword?
From whom now?
From Lord Commander Marmont. It was the
oh shit.
like ice something.
Ah.
You guys know the sword I'm talking about though. He's like, oh, it's not mine. It's yours. So he moved on from that. So because he doesn't care about that. He just wants to get back to Dany. That's all he cares about.
Longclaw.
That's
John. That's Jon Snow's one he tried giving back to him.
Was it? I thought Longclaw was Ned Stark's sword.
But that's.
Is it,
I know that Longclaw was the one he tried.
oh, it's
giving
long.
back
Okay,
to
they said it's
Jorah.
Longclaw. They're all saying it's Longclaw.
Right, and then
all right, you guys clearly pay more attention than we do. It'll be interesting to see Lyanna and Jorah's first meeting. Yeah, that would be. I'm down for that. At least 3 people are on Arya's list for wronging Gendry. Well, I think she'll be happy that he's alive and well, and that they're both going to end up together at Winterfell and shit. Pot Pie would be kind of funny to come back one more time. Like, hey, I brought food.
Yeah.
Ice became 2 swords. That's right. So I forgot they broke up. They
melted it down into 2. Jaime has the one.
Okay.
But didn't he give that to? Gave that to Brienne.
Well, one of them was Ice was Ned's, and then Ice became Heart Eater. But then wasn't there a smaller one too? Like there were 2 swords that were melted out of ice, right? I forget that. Jack here says, haven't watched the show much. Is the wall made with 100% pasteurized covfefe? Possibly. It's entirely possible at this point. Oathkeeper. Which one is Oathkeeper? Someone said
Oathkeeper.
Jaime has Widow's Wail.
Yeah.
Widow's Wail, that was the one that Joffrey had named, right?
Right, Bran has Oathkeeper.
Okay. But who gave Bran Oathkeeper? That was
I thought that was Jaime. I
Was
might be
it?
wrong.
I'm gonna go back over probably over the next 18 months or
I've
whatever,
had
and rewatch it.
I've wanted to go back and start binge watching it forever, and I've not done it. But
Yeah, I definitely want to.
I know well.
Well, I can't. I have to be careful not to watch The Red Wedding around my girlfriend. That's what prompted her to
Smart move.
stop watching it a couple years ago.
There's so many people that think that The Red Wedding is like that every damn episode, and it's not the case. Yeah, there's been some shockers and stuff, and The Red Wedding is not a very good one for a pregnant woman to watch. But it's not something that happens every single week.
And I was really hoping they were gonna bring back. Was it Lady Greyheart?
Oh, Lady Stoneheart.
Lady Stoneheart. Yeah, they cut that. I mean, I can see why they.
I wish that would come back. Just one brief episode, but she was connected with the Brothers Without Banners.
Yeah.
And they have not, at all the times that they've shown him, she's not been a part of that. Even after the Hound joined up with him. But no, I don't see any of that kind of stuff coming. It's just funny that, like my wife considers, like, for the last words out of her mouth tonight when I took off to come over to the house.
Yeah.
She's like, enjoy your medieval porn. And I'm like, it's not medieval porn. Come on. But it just seems like the time she has been in the room when I'm watching it or have walked in, oh well, there's a dick shot or there's something going on where there's breasts or...
Well, they said in tonight's saying that there was nudity, and I didn't see any of that.
No, I didn't.
No, there was at the end.
Oh, John and Dan.
Yeah, that whole thing.
But that wasn't like real nudity.
No, that was John's ass, but it still
that was like
qualifies
kissing
as...
your sister.
Well, it's like kissing your aunt.
Well, that's kind of weird.
Like kissing your sister isn't weird?
Well, that's true.
Well, you grew up in the 60s.
If you didn't know...
So...
maybe.
You lived on the coast.
Yeah, okay, all right.
There's
all right.
No, but okay, so I think at this point...
When Aberdeen was cool.
Aberdeen was never cool. No. There was okay, what else is there now? There's I guess at this point it's really John and Danny that we haven't talked about yet. Otherwise, that's really about it.
I really have no idea, like, what's going to be coming down the road. What kind of
Well, we know what was coming.
Happen.
We know what was coming.
Oh God.
See,
No wonder her hair is so soft.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's been hinted at now for a while. We've known for a whole season that he was a Targaryen, but we thought that he, that Rhaegar had raped Liara, right?
Right.
So we thought that had happened. Then we find out that no, they had snuck away and they had done this whole thing, got married and shit. And I like that Bran had said, oh, so Robert's rebellion was based on a lie.
On a lie,
and
yeah.
that to me is one of the biggest revelations of the entire show. It's that it was based on an outright lie, and it's like that makes you really question how many wars Iraq we've gotten into based on outright lies.
Iraq,
Vietnam, a lot of other things that we got into based
not
on
as much Vietnam.
No, but Iraq most definitely.
Oh, Iraq definitely, yes. Weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah,
We're just on a police action.
Yeah,
they got blown out of proportion in Vietnam.
Yeah, well, let's find out if 78,000 Westeroses die in the Great Wall. Anyway, the point is,
Have a nice memorial.
well, they have a wall. It's just kind of
Not
fucked
anymore.
up. Well, parts of it's gone now. Trump must have been crying tonight. No!
Oh, yeah. The memes are going to come out with a wall down on the Rio Grande and the damn... God,
that's great. Yeah, I know, man. I know.
Mexican on top of it. It's just not going to be good.
Bunch of immigrants trying to come over a wall. They just take it out and they march right on in.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Big beautiful wall. But no, basically, yeah, the thing is
going to be huge anyway.
Huge wall. I could just imagine like the Night King. Okay, so we got the track. It's going to be a huge fire.
It's going to be the biggest ever.
It's gonna rock the world.
The world has never seen.
Big, huge. I have the biggest dragon. I mean, there's the smallest one, but it's the biggest one. I have the biggest army.
Yes.
I can throw spears the longest. How the fuck did he throw a spear? That's my question from the last episode.
What?
He walked up all like Prefontaine and shit. Or, not Prefontaine, that'd be running.
That would be. Yeah.
He didn't run. He just walked through fire.
He walked up, and I noticed how he had his hand there as kind of the guide. And then
he walked out like Babe fucking Ruth. You know,
Now, if I would have been more apt to want to see him go run up to the edge of the cliff or something like, oh, la, 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 la. No.
he's not a fucking Zulu warrior.
I mean, come
Jesus
on.
Christ.
I know, but I wanted to see him do that.
We try to keep racism off this channel.
I'm not
what the
keeping
hell?
God.
But the point, no, but he
Demonetize this, bitch.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
My channel's fucking dead. It doesn't matter. Fuck him. So. No, but true. He didn't go up there and say anything. He just kind of went up and was like, give me this beer, and walk up, throw it, you know, and just like dragons flying overhead. I mean, Bronn at least ran up, like got the thing and led the target and fired off a shot.
I don't know.
And the Night King's just like, you know, paper airplane.
Now, will Bran be able to warg into the Night King's dragon? That's possible.
Well, hey, wait, I'm sorry, what?
There is a possibility that Bran would be able to warg into the Night King's dragon. That's still a possibility.
He would need a lot of power to do that.
I
though.
understand that, but he's
like to go into that thing. Well, for one, I guess he doesn't know about it yet. You know, I guess
he doesn't know what all his powers are yet, though.
Well, true. He could. I mean, you know, he could. That would be a little bit too Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I can just fucking take out the other ones and shit. What's gonna happen is this. Most likely, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the final battle with the dragon and the two other ones, Dragon and Rhaegon.
Rhaegon? I can't remember.
Is it? Yeah, whatever. Well, no, because there's Dragon, like Viserion and Rhaegon, and you know it's Viserion that's been turned, right? That you're telling me?
Viserys or Viserys or whatever.
Whatever. Either way, it's based on her cunty brother, who I am pretty sure came back to play Rhaegar in the episode.
I think it was him.
I think it looked identical to him.
I bet just the kid looked just like him then.
That would just be creepy if they brought back that actor. Because you know he was a dick.
Yeah.
But he played it well. So you've got all that. But yeah, I think they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight it out, and then like they're probably pretty much. I'm pretty sure one of them's gonna die.
Now I can see that. It's from Space All on there. Bran works in the Rhaegal or Renna.
Oh, maybe.
And has that epic dragon battle. I'm sure whatever it is,
that could be something. Yeah, going into that makes more sense.
Yeah, it does. To
you
me
know,
too.
like we need Danny's like I can control a Dragon. He's like, hold on, I got this. Put the helmet on. Fucking Professor X's his ass. You know, let me let me just you know. That could be a thing in order to lead that particular approach to have a fight, but they seem to held their own pretty well.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure the dragons are gonna die. I'm pretty sure all the dragons are gonna die.
I hope not.
In the next one, because that's kind of like, well, they all died before, but then like they came back, or like one of them's gonna lay some eggs or something, and then they're all gonna go die. It's gonna
be he won't die. I can't see him dying.
Well, I think
he's the alpha. He's the alpha dragon.
Given the fact that you know you got the whole situation with Danny and John now, you know that might be weird. That is already weird. Okay, so you've heard of the show Sons of Anarchy, right?
Right.
Okay, so in season 3, the exact same plot line happened. The main guy goes to Ireland to find his kid, ends up running into his half sister. He doesn't know it's his half sister. They start hitting it off really well. They get right to the point. Someone basically busts on the door. No, she's your sister. So they stop. This time around, it's all like they had sex. It's the best way to describe it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's
they
what
gave
happened.
each other that come hither look, and
Yeah, knocks on the door like, okay, you know, it's like, do I need to stand outside your window playing a song from like Say Anything? Just knocks on the door, and then Danny was already into it. And everything else, and then you know you could see that there's a thing there. So my question is though, it's like incest is already well established in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
We've already got one potential incest baby, now a second potential incest baby, which is just weird. Which makes me wonder then if those two are going to get together later on. Like,
well, they said that,
like if they're part of an incest support group.
Ooh.
My mom and my dad are brother and sister. My mom and my dad are aunt and nephew.
Yeah.
You want to get coffee?
You want to go with that?
You want to get some ale?
Yeah, I mean, you
I know a brothel nearby.
Wincest?
Yeah. You never heard that term before?
No.
You never heard the term wincest?
I mean, no.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The creators of the show definitely watch a lot of porn. Well, it's not that the creators of the show watch a lot of porn. It's just kind of like it seems to be an ongoing thing. You know, the Targaryens have been incesting each other for generations. So it might just be like an intrinsic learned trait. You know what I mean, or a genetic trait, something they're just predisposed to do. You know, it's like. You know, they just like, oh yeah, like okay, I you know, some people. You know, some parents pass on traits of their children, you know, walking the same way or sitting the same way. In this family, they just kind of fuck in the same way. Yeah. And that's kind of a thing. So
Jon rode that dragon.
Yeah, you know, she did. She really rode the wolf. Yeah. When the episode was titled The Dragon and the Wolf, you knew what was coming. It wasn't, they didn't even hint at that. But I hope it turns into a crying game moment. No, the joke I made earlier was Ace Ventura Pet Detective, the ending of that. Every motherless vid ever. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that one. But yeah, that happened. That happened. That just
that's... see, Jaime and Tyrion's parents were cousins.
What is it? They were?
No.
Again, I'm not too sure of the bloodline of the Lannisters. So
I'm sure there's probably been some reference to it along the way that we just never caught. Again, it's just.
So it's one of those weird shows where it's like, I mean, because the thing is though, in that age, incest was not out of the question to keep the bloodline pure, you know. So I mean, Eddie Izzard made a great joke about that on Dressed to Kill. It's like kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Get your dad to play Bloodborne and have it streamed.
Oh, you don't want to play.
You don't want to see me playing.
You don't want to do that.
I'm a sports game player, guys.
Well, all things considered, I did bring them Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. The Wii, mind you,
that was good.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I did.
And he spent like how many times you could speed run it on the Wii in like 2 hours.
I did it. My best was 2 hours and 7 minutes, and I get home from I work at a casino, and I get home at 4 a.m, and I would find something to do for 2 hours, and I could whip through Resident Evil 4 in no time flat.
So Tywin and Joanna were first cousins.
Ew.
So is everyone just like having sex with their family in Westeros?
Is there that much of a shortage of women?
Well, it's also, keep in mind, it's also the houses. The houses want to keep the bloodline pure. I mean, if you think about it, like how many people put up to, I mean, granted, this is
that don't work with dogs.
It doesn't work with, what do you mean?
Well, I'm talking about, just the, inbred. It doesn't work. It doesn't.
I know. If that's the case, I would figure
it's a bad,
like every pit bull is inbred.
That's true.
Because they're all vicious monsters. Not a pit bull fan.
Not true. Not true.
But no, they
reflect their owners.
No, they're just all kind of bastards. Not a pit bull fan. Period. His song sucks. But the point is, no, you've got like, okay, so apparently incest is a big part of the Game of Thrones mythos. So maybe it won't be that bad of a thing. I mean, it's kind of like if there's going to be a happy ending in Game of Thrones, at this point in time, knowing everything we know, wouldn't people really be happy if Dany and Jon, because they've kind of had fucked up lives, right? Dany sent away to Essos or whatever, or wherever she was at. Yeah. Raised to think she, to like buy Viserys. Or Viserys, who was trying to use her as a way to pawn her off to the Dothraki to get his army to reclaim his throne. Everything she's gone through. Jon believing he's been a bastard his entire life, and everything else. So it's like, at this point, you're kind of like, I could see it. And then I don't think fans would revolt as much.
I don't think so.
I think there'd be a whole bunch of Tumblr
I don't even know what the perfect ending would be right now. I mean, I really don't.
It's going to be a bittersweet ending, according to the creators. Yeah, I can pretty much tell you how that's probably going to be a very similar to Rome ending in terms of bittersweet. How was Rob going to marry that hoe with the bronze chick waiting for him? So, you're on the Dany and Jorah boat. KJ, I think a lot of people are on the Dany and Jorah boat, and that could still technically happen. I mean, I think at this point we all can agree that Dany is going to get knocked up by Jon Snow. They already kind of hinted at that in the conversation where she's like, "I can't have children." Well, who told you that? The witch that killed my husband or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
He's like, well, I don't think she's like the best person to talk to. I mean, that was sly move in right there. You know,
The one that Melisandre?
no, not Melisandre.
killed
that was
Robb?
the
Or-
no. They killed Drago.
Oh,
The
okay.
one that was like that she burned alive and everything else. So
Right,
Or when they burned his corpse, she burned them with him. Right. That's the one that says, "You'll never bear children."
Yeah,
right.
right.
So then basically like that's why John's like, well, she's probably not the best person to talk to. And if he would have, and he almost like, I bet you anything during shooting that scene, Kit Harington was like trying to fight back the whole nod, wink, you know, like brown chicken, brown cow. Like,
Well, as soon as he said that to her, I knew they were going to end up.
yeah. Well, we all knew that's where it was going to end up. Look at the end of the last episode when he's like, "I bend my knee to you, my queen," and then she like holds his hand, you know, and like they're sitting there playing with the jaw.
Yeah, but
right, and then
but
like
then everybody's sitting back going, "You're a Targaryen. You're
yeah, no,
connected, you don't want any part of
then I
this."
just every time people bring that up, I'm all like, red wedding.
I'm like
They'll go that length.
God knows how far they'll go. You know, they've already proved they can go anywhere.
Yeah, I know, and I it's so weird. It's so weird to sit there and look at a show like this and go like, man, it's really good. It's hard to say that incest is refreshing on a TV show, but it's bold storytelling, you know. And and the thing is, you know, there's going to be 100 think pieces tomorrow on all these blogs about how that's like the most horrible thing ever, and how they're just promoting incest, right? And clearly, it's like, you know, the show is horrible and everything else because that's what these people do. They
Yeah, and
always
then they'll
bitch
blame
about that.
Obama, and then we'll go from there.
No, they'll blame it on like Trump's America or something like that. They'll be like, they'll find a way to. Somebody tomorrow will find a way to blame incest on Trump. Guaranteed, somebody will. So there's definitely some crazy shit there. But I guess okay, so that's kind of well. Then you have the wall situation with the ice dragon, where you know, so that whole thing, and Tormund is still alive
Of course he's.
because there was an article that he still has his beard. And
Right.
he talked about that, saying like, I can't shave off my beard. So there's definitely that. Okay, yeah, here we go. Because Mr. Let Me Watch a Video did post a little bit ago about that. Let me find that. Oops. Okay, so he had said, we'll talk about the symbolism thing here in a second. But you said, well, so what's up with Tyrion looking pissed at Jon going into Dany's room? I don't know.
I'd almost want to think that
I don't know if he was
nothing
pissed.
good could come out of that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, here's the question: does he love Dany?
He might.
He might love Dany. That's been the thing. That's been a whole situation. We don't know if
He
whether
feels a connection to her.
yeah,
for some reason.
you know, he thinks she wants to change the world, make it for the better. He wants to clearly make it a big thing. You know, with her, he believes she's the one. And I could see him thinking that way,
Right.
you know, about her, because there was Shay, who he loved, and she
Right.
was, you know, she was a double crosser. She was a liar. Dany, he knows, is not like that. And of all the women that he's been with throughout the entire whatever world, that's the one who's basically never let him down, I think.
Right.
And so I think that there was clearly something there, but then again, it also felt really out of place. It felt like he was going to go to the keyhole and watch. You know, and then they'd wake up in the morning and find a really odd dry lake at the base of their door.
Actually, isn't Varys the one that likes to watch?
Varys likes to watch. Varys doesn't have any. He's a eunuch,
I know,
so
but
he
still.
can't. He would just be. He might watch.
No, I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
entirely.
thinking
It's
somebody
entirely possible that Bran at that moment in time is like, we need to tell them. Let me go and find the Raven.
else. I did a cross thing on Walking Dead that was actually Eugene, who I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
He'd been picking through the.
But there's a fair amount of that could play into that whole scenario.
Oh yeah.
Is you know, Tyrion, I don't know, that was an odd thing for Tyrion. It felt relatively out of character. Does that mean Tyrion now kills Dany? No. Okay, so OMG, I'm done. OTR says, I want to know when Cersei's going to die. Last episode.
Probably.
And my prediction is Jaime's going to be the one to kill her. Or it could be
I still believe it's going to be.
okay, hold on. Here's what's going to happen. Calling it right now. Jaime's going to be the one to kill her, but it's going to be Arya wearing Jaime's face. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Like, Jaime's going to die somewhere, and then Arya is going to take his face, become him, go there, and kill Cersei.
That would make total sense, and that would be the most justifiable, happy death of the whole show that I've ever seen.
That's going to be the thing. Now, here's a question though: are they going to repeat the Red Wedding in that regard? She'll have a bit of a baby bump, run up and nah. You know, like that might be going a little bit too far.
It depends. If Arya's, I mean, Arya could just cut the baby out of her for all I know.
Yeah. Who's gonna kill the Mountain? That would probably
It's
be.
gotta be with the Hound.
Yeah. It's well the Hound. The Hound is gonna get some help to take out the Mountain.
I wonder who that could be, though.
Brienne. Because they have some chemistry. Here's the thing. Okay.
That's what I
Brienne,
like about their connection today, though.
Yeah, that little scene was fantastic between the two of them because Tormund very much likes Brienne, but Brienne doesn't feel like he was a competent. You know, he's not. He's like a luster type thing.
Right.
Whereas the Hound is very much a fighter, and Brienne responds to that. Right, which is why she has that thing for Jaime, because she spent that time with Jaime. She had to kind of protect him, look after him to an extent, but there was a bond that they connected there. She's his moral compass, and you know she loves him, but I don't know if it's really that kind of love.
Right.
Like she probably knows deep down that that's a love that could never happen, you know. And she said when it comes to the Hound, didn't she say before like people always made fun of her for looking different, for being taller, being gangly or whatever? Well, the Hound is burned. Everyone makes fun of his face.
Right.
So she'll see past the burning and see him for who he is, and she already knows who he is and what he's done. So there's going to be a lot there. So I think we're going to see the Hound and Brienne of Tarth take out the Mountain.
I think it's going to be. I can see that happening.
Yeah, and then somewhere Jaime's going to die,
But that'll be the second to last thing before Cersei dies.
Well, and there's also going to have to be one of those things too, where we're not going to know if Jaime's dead or alive. I think I don't think we're gonna. Well, no, he's like one of the top billed cast, so I don't think they're going to not give us an on-screen death. I don't think but somehow she's still gonna have to get his face and do that. But I think that's gonna happen.
So yeah, he's gonna have to die somewhere along the way,
Yeah.
obviously. And I don't think Arya's gonna be one to do it. I mean, I think something else kills him, and then she takes his face from there.
Yeah, Arya's. Yeah, I think Arya is gonna want to get that kill, and she'll want to definitely finish off her list or somewhere. But the question is though, I mean, and this is something that's been asked and I've seen online, can Arya be redeemed? Because at this point now, today kind of redeemed her a little bit. But after going to the whole, like, faceless man thing.
Right.
Doing all that, like, she became an assassin. Like, even Sansa's like, she became an assassin. You know, they turned her into something, and she's done a lot of horrible shit. Like, I know taking out the Freys was cool. Like, I'm okay with her taking out Walter Frey at the end of last season.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, her killing his sons and then baking them into a pie felt so wholly unnecessary for that scene.
I didn't think there was a timing element in the whole thing that didn't make any sense
Well,
to me.
there's also that, and then when she's at Pot Pie and she's eating his bread, oh, this is really good. Oh, I did this. Oh, I'll have to remember that for next time. I was a little rushed last time. And it's like, but the way she callously was talking about like killing these dudes, baking them into a meat pie and feeding them to their dad before slicing his throat is one of those things. I'm just like, it felt so out of character. It just felt so over the top for the sake of being like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this?
Right.
Versus, is this what the character would do? And I don't really. That was my biggest complaint with Arya over the course of the past few seasons, has been that moment, because I felt it was so out of place, and I wouldn't have written it like that. But then also with Arya needing to be some kind of redeemed, because I don't think Arya's gonna live. I think Arya's gonna die. I think she's gone to that point of where, like, what would she do?
I don't know. I hope not, because I like her character.
Well, no, I like her character too. Like, we've actually been talking about naming our daughter Arya after Arya. So yeah, I know, right? We're one of those couples. Anyway, but there's that, and then you've got hold on here. There was thank you for the $1 TGE. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. But yeah, there's a lot that's gonna happen next season. Clearly, everything with Euron and Yara are gonna come out to play, and that's gonna be Theon's.
No, he shouldn't sing.
Who should sing? Oh, him?
I yawned, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Man,
It's up past his bedtime.
It's getting close. But I had a week off, and today's the last day, and I go back to work tomorrow. So
yeah, because we did the eclipse last Monday.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was it. Oh, cool little thing. So if you just as a quick side note to the eclipse, we actually were in the best place in the country to see it. So because anyone who knows Thunderfoot on YouTube, he went to Casper Mountain in Wyoming. Should have gone to Salem, Oregon. He was not too far from there, because that was the best place to watch it in the entire country. Anyway, just wanted to kind of
Yeah, it was
brag
awesome,
that
by
moment
the
and
way.
shit, you know. Not even humble brag, that's a brag.
Yeah, it was just
But, so...
7.5 hours to go
Why not?
130 miles.
Why not Leia? I've pitched it.
Are we going to start that again?
No,
we
no,
need.
no. Yeah, so yeah, God Emperor here says, I think Arya will die to kill Cersei wearing Jaime's face. Probably. It's entirely possible that she'll do it.
She kills Cersei. Somebody stabs her.
Mountain.
The mountain.
Or Qyburn. Or something like that.
Could be somebody, but then as Cersei dies, she dies, but the face comes off and you see it's her.
Yeah. That could make sense.
I could see that happening.
That could end her character. I mean, we know John's gonna live. Right.
No, he has to.
Dany's gonna live because I think John's gonna take over. It'd be so weird if they just said screw it to the fact that we're aunt and nephew and then they just stayed together. You know, I mean, flipper babies be damned, right? Just like don't tell anyone. Like shut up. All right, KL Sonic, thanks for coming in, dude. I'll probably see you later. Cersei will die due to a miscarriage. And that would be a miscarriage of justice. All right, we know she deserves a way harsher death. She deserves a way harsher death
very gruesome
than to die, you know, from the fuck up of a midwife or something. Like no, fuck that. You know, she gets like what is it? You get what's the excess bleeding from birth? What's it called?
What?
I don't know.
I
don't know. She deserves. She just. You never heard the term flipper baby, Maury? You got to spend more time on the internet, my friend. Everyone dies except for the three-eyed raven. Yeah. Cersei deserves to have her skin peeled off. I agree. Her baby should have Zika. That's so fucked up. That is so fucked up. So let me ask you guys this, because we're kind of getting to the end of this thing. What do you think is going to happen in season 8? Because there's a lot. We have 6 episodes, whenever the fuck they air it. I still think it's going to be next summer. And here's why I say it's going to be next summer. Because they're already talking 5 prequel series. Or spin-off series, right? And so they've already said, like, the prequel is going to be set in a familiar place. Which basically, to me, says that the prequel is going to be Robert's Rebellion. So we're going to have young Ned, young Robert, leading this rebellion against the Mad King, against Rhaegar, to get back to lovely Lyanna, even though we all know the truth. And at that point in time, though, but it's also, that feels to me kind of like a wasted story effort.
Yeah, I don't know. And then the other thing also is that where does the final book come into play? When George R.R. Martin finally releases the new book,
it won't come out.
Will it come out before
he still has
the last
2 books to
season's
release.
I know, but I mean,
and isn't the Winds of Winter is the next one, isn't it? Or is that the one that came out a couple years ago? But he still has like 2 books left in the series, and we have 1 season left on the show, and he already knows. I mean, now he's working on some other shit too. Fuck that guy. Like,
I don't know if it's ever gonna come out or not. I think they're gonna finish it with the TV show and let it go from there.
Okay, so Tyrion. Okay, so you think that Dany and Jon are going to die, and that Tyrion is going to. Cersei's baby is going to be a dwarf, and then yeah. Oh, Robert's Rebellion isn't going to be made as. I don't know. They keep saying it's a familiar thing, and then they keep showing pictures and all the articles of young Ned, which could only be that one thing.
Ooh, I like that one. Arya kills Cersei as a midwife and then steals the baby.
That's fucked up.
That's
like season 3 finale of Spartacus fucked up. If you guys have seen the season 3 finale of Spartacus, you know what I'm talking about. You gotta check out Spartacus. You'd actually really like that show. Jar Jar Martin hasn't even devised a show since season 4. Yeah, I know. He's working on something new. Right? He's working on something new. I don't know what it is yet, but he's working on something new. Worse than Gabe Newell. You know what? Yeah, I kind of agree. In that regard. So Tyrion's not going to betray Dany. Why would
I can't see that.
Why they would have to be, unless what we saw at the end there was that like sowing the seeds of distrust sort of thing. But even then, you're going like, well, why? Why would he do it? It makes no sense.
Well, he saw this coming. I mean,
he's
blind to it.
Well, he's also talked about succession. So it was him who brought up Succession, and it wasn't him bringing it up as a sly way of going like, yo, let me hit a homer, nothing like that. It was him talking about the legitimacy of Succession, which at that point in time might have been a clue for leading into Dany's demise.
Right. No, I understand.
Now, because if Jon, being Aegon Targaryen, is the true heir to the Iron Throne, is he? I mean, in what context is he the heir, though? Is he the heir if Dany dies? Or is he the heir because his father died at the hands of Robert? and then Robert took over because Dany's always felt that that was taken away from her father.
Yeah, I
but
just
her
don't-
father was usurped by Jaime, who then decided not to take it for himself, which I think at this point we all can agree is dumb as shit. You know, if like at that moment in time, I have to go back to the line from Ghostbusters. If somebody asks if you're God, the answer is yes. If you kill a king, you take his fucking power. That's how you do it. No, Andre, we've already talked about Cersei being pregnant. It's entirely possible that she's not pregnant. And because if look at the long con, look at all of her scenes leading up to the whole Golden Army or Golden whatever the hell it is shit. Like, is it possible that she ain't preggers? Dany's the rightful heir unless you want to go full patriarchy. I don't know, man. I'm not too sure. No, Batman, we don't know if the final season is going to air in 2019 or not. They haven't said what it is yet. The likelihood of them finishing it next year is relatively high, just because they shot 7 episodes, all of them are longer, and everything else, and they're going to do it all, you know, whatever. So I think next summer. I don't see why they would skip. It makes no sense.
I just think in these last 6 episodes that the CG is going to be, you know, the CGI is going to be so bad. I mean, they got to do so much work, you know, in their post-production stuff. And I think that's where a lot of it's going to be. And the fact that it, you know, it is winter.
See, okay, hold on. Avant Tom, you say here, Cersei's really pregnant. She couldn't have fooled Tyrion. She did fool Tyrion. She totally played him. She completely played him. That's the whole thing about,
They
you know.
even said that at the end of the episode when they were discussing.
Yeah. And if you watched the full episode, you get to the end. Those of you who didn't pirate it and watched it by using your sister's HBO Go account, you know who I'm talking about. Thanks, sis. Appreciate it. I've got a 4K TV now, so that looked wonderful. So yeah, no, basically it's like she played him. She played him pretty hard. She totally fooled him. She fooled Jaime too. Jaime doesn't know. She's been fooling him this entire time. You know, I almost like it could totally be, you know, how many days was it in between when her and Jaime had sex to when she was like, I'm with child sort of thing. It wasn't very long. But then again, time's kind of been jumping around pretty quick this season.
Well, whatever's going to happen, they got 6 episodes to get this all in line, and that's going to be a massive undertaking to do that with 6 episodes. So,
well, no, Lugs. They did say that she tricked him, not breaking the illusion. We already knew she. I mean, if you listen to what Cersei herself says, we know that she tricked him. We know that happened. So I don't fully. I think it's a little bit different than that. She could have done it with the mountain. Maybe. I mean, if she's into that sort of thing, well, might be into that sort of. She might want to mix it up a little bit. She's like, well, I've already tried incest for a thrill. What about necrophilia? So you hear that each episode next season will be 2+ hours each. Again, maybe. We don't know yet. They haven't given us any real details. At this point, it is literally all speculation. So Cersei becomes the Night Queen.
I'm not
discarding
that.
Yeah,
one.
no,
that could still very much happen
because she knows there's a threat, but she's also good at working that threat to her. And the Night King may want to make her, you know, immortal or some shit.
Yeah, and she has such a thirst for power that she'll do whatever it takes.
Well, because she very much says too. She's like she'll do anything to protect her family, right? And if there's nothing left, if there's no baby, if there's no Jaime, if there's no whatever, she won't give a shit about Tyrion, clearly.
Right.
So she'll very much deal with that. So, zombie baby kills Cersei. This is not 2004's Dawn of the Dead. Who was glad to see Littlefinger get cut. We talked about that. It was good to see him go because he was kind of a wasteful character at that point, taking up screen time from other better characters. But I still feel he kind of got like a bitch. I would have liked to have seen a more triumphant end to Littlefinger, but at the same time, you act like a bitch, you die like a bitch.
You got what's coming to you.
Yeah. So, if the mountain's a zombie, could the Night King control him? That's a good question. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now that Qyburn knows that they exist, I guarantee you he will be working an angle to control them.
He really wanted a piece of that.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, they might have left it there at the end.
Oh, I think they did. I mean, obviously the hand that got cut off, and he was holding it, and then John mentioned about the fact of it being fire that can destroy him.
Yeah.
Then he lit it up, but
so I mean, I have a feeling because he's not done pulling some shit yet. So he will try. I think he will do whatever he can to get one for himself in order to study it or in order to make it, happen or whatever. So the Night King did not bring the mountain back, so I would say nope. But well, I don't know. It's possible. Anything's possible at this point. Someone as pivotal to the whole story as Littlefinger should have had a more poetic death. I agree. He'd been playing the Sansa game for a while, for a couple seasons now, like 2 seasons. And so we've been playing that game for a while, and I think it just got to that point of where he just kind of ran out, But Sansa seemed to have a little bit more information at the end of that.
Yeah,
that the letter that he wrote or whatever.
I want to know what tipped the two of them off that he was doing it. Maybe they did and I didn't catch it, but something along the way made Sansa and Arya know that something was going on with him and he was trying to manipulate him.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd like to know exactly what that was.
The storytelling of the season I felt was good, but I felt also like they took some leaps in a few areas, and I know that it was definitely to keep the story moving forward and to keep everything else happening, which is fine. I'm okay with that as a whole, but there's those little loose ends I always hate because like you always start kind of asking yourself those questions. So what if Sansa executed him by face sitting? It's not that kind of show, man. Bran told them.
Well, Bran did mention it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think they've grown, now to trust what Bran tells them.
Okay.
And he can go back and basically let him know whatever, any sort of.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's right. Bran told them. Yeah. Because he mentioned the knife and mentioned the exact words that Littlefinger said to Ned. So yeah,
and Bran the Google of Westeros. I like that. Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. I know everything that's happened. How? Oh.
Click.
Yeah. Hodor. Here's the thing. Here's another season 8 prediction. I would assume Hodor is coming back as one of the members of the dead. No one's gonna know that it's him. I think it's gonna be one of those things that they slide in there that like fans will know. People who watch the show will know that it's him. And then he'll be cut down and that's it. I think we're just going to see him for a second. Because who John would know him, I think.
John would know him.
Theon would know him. What if Theon is like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, Hodor, shit.
Too soon.
It's been a long time. That's do you think there'll be a climactic battle at Winterfell? I think they're going to end up destroying the set.
Well, what's next? I mean, if they get through the wall, the next step is Winterfell.
Yeah, it comes down to, Winterfell to a point.
That would be the next logical...
and then the other houses are there. But what I want to know, too, is because Sam is now in charge of the Turley house, the Tarly house, is he going to be command of those forces? Will those forces bend the knee to Daenerys?
I have no idea.
I don't know. They've kind of
he doesn't even know yet.
Well, no, and then he also took a blade too. He took a blade.
He took his dad's other Valyrian steel sword, which they have not talked about since he took it.
Yeah. So it's going to come.
They talked about the Dragonstone.
Yeah. Well, the
Dragonglass. I mean,
that played a big part this season and whatnot, but they still did nothing with it. I need to go down there and mine. Okay, go ahead and mine. Okay, cool. Oh, I gotta go. I'll be back.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I mean They made such a big deal about the Valyrian steel being able to kill a White Walker, and then after we know the ones who have the Valyrian steel swords, but they've all got all this dragon glass now they can get to be able to forge more weapons out of it, and that's where Gendry comes in. But
yeah,
we'll see how that works. So
yeah, it's one of those things. But we should probably wrap. It's like 11 o'clock. Let's get this thing wrapped up here. But
yeah, it's time to go.
He's old.
Got a long drive.
You got a half-hour drive.
Half-hour.
It's not so bad. Jesus.
No, because you live in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I do, and I like that. Thank you.
I mean, it's like there's no quick way to get here. I mean, I could take the freeway, but I got to double around and come back and go this way. If I go the direct route, it's all back roads. I mean, it's fine. I love the setting here. It's very nice. You ought to see it.
Bitch.
There's woods all over the place.
Yeah,
creatures scurrying all over the place. And
well, yeah, it's like when my cat brought the rabbit to the back door.
Oh, that was funny. How's that rabbit, by the way?
I have no idea. It's probably dead.
Oh.
Yeah. But okay, so there was the first super chat we got tonight was from Mr. Let Me Watch a Video saying, I loved the symbolism of the snow falling onto the map of Westeros in the Red Keep. undead dragon was epic. I agree. I love the symbolism as well. I like that Jamie. I think that reaffirmed Jamie's decision at that point.
Right.
When he puts on the glove and the one single snowflake falls on it. Clearly that snowflake had a tumbler block they were screaming about the entire time. But they were put that glove on and it's like he starts coming down and then starts covering the map in Red Keep. So it's basically like winter is now here completely. Like it's not, we know winter has come, but now it's made its way south.
Well, it's made its way to King's Landing at least.
Yeah, so we know what's going to be coming next, and so that's going to be pretty cool.
I mean, it's not going to make its south. Well, it will eventually. They can't stop it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty badass. I'm very excited for the next season whenever we see it.
Oh yeah, I just figure if it is 2019, damn, I'll be old.
The Godless Monk here says, I have yet to see a single episode of the show. Are you talking about like fucking, I don't even know. All right. So Vikings greater than Game of Thrones. Fuck you. I've never seen Vikings. I have no idea actually.
I've never either.
I've heard
People
it's
I
good.
talked to have liked it,
Yeah.
but I there's only a couple shows I really get into, and I don't have enough time
I don't know.
to watch that much.
I don't know what you're gonna do when Game of Thrones ends. Rewatch it from the beginning.
I already told my wife it was going to cost her a bunch of money when the box set comes out, but then again, she throws up, well, you have, HBO Go. You can watch it whatever you want.
Yeah, not the same.
Not the same. It's like something about holding that disc.
Well, on Prime Day they had seasons 1 through 6 for like $60 or something on Amazon.
Right.
Like a good price for all on Blu-ray. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I get the whole set for a good price. Same. I'm doing the same thing with Downton Abbey. As soon as I can find the full 6 seasons collectors on Blu-ray, I'm buying that.
Now,
Yeah.
the two shows I get into is Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, and thank goodness this one's still going at a nice pace. Walking Dead's a whole different.
Yeah, I'm behind a lot on that show. But all right, guys.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'll say we wrap this thing up here. So thanks to my dad for coming over. We'll have to do this again and everything else. Get him on and BS and shit. So hopefully we'll do that soon. I'll be back on tomorrow night, 10 p.m. for another live recording. What?
Maybe 10:15, 10:30, whenever you feel like it.
I mean, I aim to be on at 10.
Yeah.
I get
I
distracted
aim
sometimes.
to have one child, but
Clearly you made that mistake.
oh well, that kept happening.
You
There's
know.
one that just kept on giving.
Okay.
I'm talking about my wife. by the way.
Yeah.
Hi there, honey.
Uterus with a head.
I cannot believe you just said
what?
that. A uterus with a head.
It's not even my joke. I stole it from Carlos Mencia, but knowing Carlos Mencia, he stole it from other people.
No, yeah, most
So there's
likely.
that. But new episode of Rick and Morty in 30 minutes. Do a live. I'm not gonna do a live thing of Rick. I mean, I might. I don't know. Probably not. Play video games. But all right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot, guys. It
Peace
was fun.
out.
I enjoyed it.